first, I just want to welcome our Head of Service, Kevin Strawn, who's just going to say a bit about Sheffield City Council and the big challenge. Over to Kevin.
Good morning, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank you all so much, both the sponsors, the schools, the children, for joining us this morning. Of course, this isn't exactly what we'd hoped for this morning, but in these unprecedented times, I think we're all getting extremely good at being flexible and just getting on with things. My job, I'm the head of lifelong learning, skills and employment with Sheffield City Council, and one of my primary roles is to ensure that young people, children and adults have an absolutely fantastic learning experience, and that learning helps them develop and grow and move forwards with their lives. One of the things I'm absolutely certain about is that the big challenge is one of the most important things that we do in our annual cycle of events, and that the big challenge has such an amazing impact upon everybody who actually participates. I first came across the big challenge 2.5 years ago when I started in my role, and it absolutely blew me away in every respect to see just what an impact it had upon young people and the way they'd adapted and grown and learned and developed new skills that are certainly transferable and will allow them to grow and prosper in their lives. I'd like to thank you all for the hard work you're doing in the challenge, and I'm really excited to be here this morning and to share this awards ceremony with you all, and I look forward very much indeed to hearing about all the wonderful things you've been doing. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And we just noticed that one of the schools has mentioned a bit of a sound issue. Hopefully that will be resolved. And look at that, as if by magic, it was resolved straight away. So without further ado, I think it's time for us to move on to the awards, the bit that you've all been waiting for, I'm sure. So for the first award, I'd like to welcome James from the Steel City Marketing. Come along.
Hello, everybody. I'm James Biggin from Steel City. We do branded merchandise. I'm the MD, and I was asked to participate and contribute to the branding award. There was a lot of entries to go through, so it was incredibly exciting to go through everything that you'd done, all the hard work you'd put into this particular area. And I managed to whittle it down to 4 teams who had done a fantastic job with what they'd done. The 4 that I have narrowed it down to, the first one was Toffee and the school was High Stores. And the feedback I wanted to give at this point was that it's a really strong proposition and brilliant explanation and presentation throughout. The things that I would say clearly could help with more development was to revisit the strapline, because toffee and caramel are not quite the same thing. But there's a little bit of confusion there, but otherwise I totally got it. And the logo could really indicate it's just for candles. So I wonder whether there's a little tweak there to be done. But I think this could work really well and you could develop a really strong brand. The second team name was Bake It, Frame It from the high school. It was a really strong starting point with this brand. I thought that the 2 sides of the business are very different, which could mean that you're spending too much time on 2 very different businesses and spreading yourselves a little bit too thin. But I think you've got the chance to find out where your future efforts might lie by doing both. The little developments that I would probably suggest is it's very clear that the two brands are essentially 2 companies, and I would seek out the companies who may want each and where they buy from. So where those customers are, they might not be in the same place. I think you have to separate the 2 off quite early and ensure you can support them both with the numbers of people and make the most out of pushing those 2 brands. But overall, a really, really good effort. The third team was Simply Soapy and the school was Tapton. I really like the branding on this one and the idea behind what you were doing, keeping it eco and the nice, strong proposition. It was all really, really consistent. And the areas that I think could be developed further was to play around with the alternative logos, because the tree seemed to take away from what you were talking about, and it was a little forced to try and push the eco angle too far. I don't think that needs to be done with what you're doing. You can get the eco message across within a strap line, for example, and it wouldn't take too much to do this, and it would tie everything together really well. And then the last team name that I chose was Cow and Crow from King Egbert School. I really like the branding and the themes you've used. I think it's very strong and really, really distinctive. The only thing that I would probably suggest is that you could have a strap line that's really visible and constantly visible. And I think this will boost what's already a very strong brand. And I think it would keep everything, and I would suggest you keep everything very consistent across the paperwork, the headers, and where you position the logo to make sure that there's not two different versions. But overall, it was a fantastic effort, some really, really strong entries throughout. I think there were about 16 plus. So it was a really exciting thing to look through, and thank you for everyone for contributing.
Well done to those teams. So the next category that we'll be hearing from next is in relation to the best sales pitch. So I'd like to welcome Andy Hanselman Consulting to introduce this award and to give some feedback about the teams. Welcome along, Jill.
Hey. Hello, good morning, and welcome everyone, and a very well done. So I'm Jill White, and I'm a partner at Andy Hanselman Consulting with my husband, who is unbelievably called Andy Hanselman. How did we think of that one? So I've been involved in BiG Challenge since it began, a long, long time. And it's actually one of my favourite things to be involved in. So well done, all of you. It was fantastic to see so many entries and such great quality entries as well. So as a business, we do an awful lot working with businesses across the city, and we see some absolutely fantastic businesses, and some of them are in the room today. But you know what? A lot of you are those great businesses in the future. It's been fantastic to see these awards. So quickly, my four, I really was spoiled for choice. There were some fantastic ones. Now, so first of all, I'll go sort of top to bottom on my sheet, no particular order at all. So Tote Alley Music. Wow, I loved those bags. So fantastic. Well done, Sheffield Girls High School. And I absolutely loved your presentation. I think you did really, really well with it. And what a cool concept. I think that concept is really, really good. I think it needs a bit of development. You know, I love the idea of working with Spotify, but I think longer term, there may be something around permissions. You may have to look into that. But I really think it's a great idea. And I'd be first in the queue to buy some. I really like, we do a lot of things like what we call thinking in 3D, which has been dramatically and demonstrably different. And we really think that you were 3D in your thinking there. So very, very well done. The next one that I liked was Toffee. I think they've been mentioned already. What a fantastic presentation that was. You really, really worked hard. Really worked hard, and I think that was High Stores School. I loved the way you did it. In fact, I read it first and I took it home and I said to Andy, wow, look at this. Bit of a plug here. Andy's written a book about thinking in 3D. I think High Stores School, you might have that book in your library, because what this presentation was all about was really, really demonstrating all of those things, some really, really cool additions, putting sweets in the pack, doing personal notes, really fantastic, and well done you, and continue on that line. Fruity Tooty, again, I think you were High Stores School as well. Let's hear it for High Stores. Another really well done presentation. I liked the unique side of what you'd done, how you presented them. Again, very personalised. I really liked that. I wondered if perhaps as a development moving forward, you could actually ask people what they would like. I know that might be difficult, but with a super duper 3D printer, you could perhaps do something, and we'd love some 3D ones. There's what we call a little buying signal. So have a little look at that. So I thought that was excellent as well. And my last one was Rainbow Resin. and Rainbow Resin are from Handsworth School. So it was great to see that. Really, really good presentation. I struggled at first getting your video, but then when I asked for it, wow, what a cool video that was. And very, very well done to the two of you who did that. I think a career in TV beckons. So that was wonderful and a great pitch and a great presentation. So very, very well done to all four of you. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. I loved it. Okay.
And thank you to you too. Just a hello from us to, we can see online that we've got the Meadowhead, King Egberts, Handsworth, High Stores, Tapton and Sheffield Girls High. Hello to anybody else that we might have missed. Just a note to the teams, whilst we're giving individual feedback to some of the teams that have been mentioned as securing an award so far, listen out for some of those bits of feedback because they might just be relevant to your team too. We will be making sure that every team that entered is given some feedback, because what we want you all to do is to take that opportunity to take that feedback on board and then get us ready for the big awards that we'll be having in March. 2 more awards left to go, so I'll hand you over to Harvey from Harvey Morton Digital to announce the Best Media Awards. Thanks, Harvey.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Harvey from Harvey Morton Digital. I do a range of digital marketing services, so social media management, web design, influencer marketing, and I actually started my business in the BiG Challenge competition about 8 years ago now. I started out doing IT support, so I'd go out to individuals and businesses and help them with setting up laptops, iPads, things like that. And then it's just evolved through my studies whilst I was at sixth form and university to what it is today. So the standard of entries across my category for best media were really great. These videos wouldn't look out of place on any social media channels. I was really impressed with the quality. I've picked 3 winners today. In no particular order, the winners that I've chosen are Idol Creations at Meadowhead, Rainbow Resin at Handsworth, and Bloom at Sheffield Girls High. So well done to the 3 teams. I thought the videos that you all sent in were outstanding. I'd say to Idol Creations, I loved seeing everything about your business and the products. I would like to see in future, maybe if you could introduce yourselves in the video rather than using text, that'd take it up a level. And to Rainbow Resin and Bloom at Sheffield Girls High and Handsworth, your videos were really creative as well. These wouldn't look out of place on TikTok. I love the format. So they were really fun and engaging and made your products look great as well. So thank you and well done to all of you. And I look forward to working with you on your marketing workshops as well. Thank you.
Wow, thanks Harvey. And as Harvey mentioned, he's done the full circle from BiG Challenge to entrepreneur and a successful entrepreneur in the city as well. So it's great to, that could be you. That could be you in the future. The final award, I'll hand you over to Dan from Unlimited magazine in relation to the best ad. Welcome, Dan.
Good morning, everyone. Hi there, I'm Dan from Unlimited Business Magazine, and I was a judge on the best ad. I think it was really difficult what we asked you to do in sort of quite a short time frame. I know that because a lot of my clients are not as good at doing what we asked you to do as a lot of you guys were. So that's really, really impressive to be able to turn that around, not only just in general, but really just to do it so quickly and so efficiently. There's a couple of things that we try and ask of businesses when they advertise, and it's A, be appealing to the eye, so make it pretty, make it look good, make it look dynamic and interesting, and something that will actually draw people into it. And B, actually talk about what you're doing, so to communicate very, very quickly and efficiently what you're selling, why it's going to help, and why there's a benefit to using that product. Everyone did that really, really well. And really the 4 that we chose were just because they did that together in the most important way. So they sort of really communicated what you were doing, and they did it with one that will stand out and really sort of engage the eye and be attractive to look at. So that was really impressive. I'm just going to reel off the winners are. I'm not going to be able to give feedback, unfortunately, because frankly, I've forgotten my notes this morning. So you're just going to have to receive that via email, I'm afraid. But the winners are Totally Music, Woolfully, Rainbow Resin, and Winter Works. Well done, guys. Really, really impressed. You did an amazing job in a really short turnaround. And I'm looking forward to sort of speaking to you all soon. Thank you.
Well done to everybody. And that doesn't finish the session here, because we've got just a couple more inputs to give you before you go today. Well done to all the teams that have been successful so far in these interim awards, and it's important that we say interim awards because there's more of this to come, particularly when we come to the big grand awards ceremony in March. So this is the start of something wonderful for all of you in anticipation of March, I'm sure. I didn't mention earlier that we've actually got King Edward's on the line as well, so an apology and a special mention to those guys. And Handsworth seems to be doing really well out of that. You might have noticed that Handsworth, out of all the schools, managed to get 3 teams that had been that managed to secure 3 awards. But well done to everybody. Work amongst each other, learn from each other, and learn from the feedback that we give you today. We didn't, as a lot of what we do is around helping you to understand what kinds of careers you might want to do in the future. We didn't want to miss this opportunity to tell you a bit more about where we are today at the Showroom Cinema in Sheffield. So I'd like to welcome Mark from Showroom just to tell you a little bit more about the showroom. Welcome, Mark.
It's the most applause I've had in weeks. Thank you. Well done to everyone for all the work you've done and everything that's involved. So yeah, as I said, my name is Mark. I am the Conference and Events Sales Manager here at the Showroom, which is a very long job title. But what I will do is condense that down a little bit and also talk you through everything else that we do here as well. So, big deep breaths. We are a 4-screen cinema, but we're also independent, which means that we are different to Cineworld, we're different to Vue, we're different to the Odeon, in that we show lots of different independent films, and we support local artists, and we support local filmmakers as well. So our roles here are everything, and I mean literally everything. You come to the cinema here, you will see a member of staff will sell you a ticket. They'll sell you some popcorn. They'll then tear your ticket. Behind all of that, we have got our technical team. So without our tech team, the screen behind me will look like this when you come to a film. They're the team that press play on the film. They're the team that upload the films. They're the team that look after all the AV. I couldn't talk to you right now virtually without our tech team being on site today. They've hooked up way too much equipment to make this happen today, so you can see my happy smiling face. Alongside that as well, we also have a bar. So again, you'll see people serving on our bar, sorry. If you order food, how does that come? We've got a kitchen brigade. Chefs like to call themselves a brigade as opposed to a team. Don't know why, it's one of those things. We've got a brigade of 9 chefs in our kitchen, ranging from our head chef down to an apprentice chef at the bottom level. Alongside that, we've got all our behind the scenes people that you just do not see when you come into a business like this. So we've got a marketing team of 4, which includes a marketing manager, an assistant marketing manager, someone whose role is purely to do social media. Now, that was a job when I started working here 14 years ago that wouldn't have existed, but now it is. And she works full time, taking videos and pictures. She's not as far as TikTok yet, but we're working on her, trying to push her. We've got someone who actually just spends the whole day designing. So her role here is to design all the adverts you see going out. It's to work on the website. It's to do all the programming on the website. Going even deeper than that, we've got a finance team. We've got a maintenance team. So keeping this lovely 1930s Art Deco building looking the way it looks. We have a team of 3 people who start work at 7 in the morning because they know that if they start work at 9, there's going to be something in the way and they can't put scaffold towers up or paint things or replace carpet tiles. or fix leaks or all those kind of things that mean that we can still open and we can operate the way that we do. Our cleaning team, they're in here every morning at 5:30 in the morning, going around and making sure that everything is up to speed and clean and tidy and COVID secure and everything's ready to go. We've also got, who else we got? So many people, it's unbelievable. We've got admin team, we've got people in offices, we've got people front of house, people facing everybody. And without all those little links to the chain and all those behind the scene roles, we can't operate the way we do. I've been asked to just go over quickly how I got into my role as well and what it involves. So my role is dealing with things like meeting rooms and parties, weddings, Christmas parties, children's birthday parties, school visits. We do school visits as well. So any teachers that are listening, ask them. I'll send you my details and we'll talk about that. I'm going to put a pitch in. What was the best sales pitch? Do I get a nomination for that as well while I'm here? But yeah, I got into this role via, I left school. I had no idea what A-levels I wanted to do. All that I knew was that I didn't want to do the traditional methods. I didn't enjoy the traditional subjects. So I did what was called in the day a GNVQ, so General National Vocational Qualification in Leisure and Tourism, just because it caught my eye and caught my interest. And that led me into a degree in Leisure and Tourism Management. I came out of university and spent my time working what's called operationally. So I worked behind bars, I worked as a breakfast chef. I'm not doing that again, but I worked as a breakfast chef. I worked waiting on, serving plates, serving breakfast, serving weddings. I ran a bar. I've done all those sorts of things. And then I gradually moved into what I do now, which is more behind the scenes. It's sales. It's being the face of the company, the face of the city almost as well, I think you could probably say. And basically moving on from there into doing what I do today, which is kind of talking to people, organising, planning, etc. If anyone does have any questions, fire it across the team at Lifelong, and I'm happy to kind of come back to you outside of this. Obviously, it would be nice to see you all here, but I do hope that I've just not rambled at you for 5 minutes. But yeah, it's all me done. So thank you for the opportunity.
Many thanks, Mark, and I hope that gives you a bit of an insight into what goes on behind the scenes and the different types of careers that are here. Sheffield has over 19,000 different businesses, and we've been working over the last couple of weeks to do some short videos with just a handful of some of the great businesses, some here today, and some extras, to put some videos together to give you even more top tips on how you can excel in this next phase of the Big Challenge competition. So keep an eye out on the website, because those little videos will be coming soon. That's almost it from me. I'll just hand over to back to Kevin from Sheffield City Council, just to say final farewell, and we'll see you again soon. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you. Well, what can I say? It's absolutely incredible once again to see all that you're doing, all that hard work, all that innovation in your business ideas. Absolutely incredible. And it's been really, really nice to see a graduate of a Big Challenge from a number of years ago, Harvey, joining us today and with his business, and to see how successful Harvey is from those starting days on the Big Challenge. So there's a bit of a motivation and incentive for you all to really, really work at this competition. So well done to all of you. Well done to the prize winners. But the competition isn't over yet, is it? It's got a long way to go yet. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you do with your businesses, how you drive them on, and how you keep selling between now and the final in the spring in March, which I'm really looking forward to spending some time with you then. And hopefully we can do it all together. Who knows? At this point, I'd like to thank our sponsors as well. Lovely to hear from you all today, and for the absolute support you give this competition. Without your input and without your guidance, advice, none of this would be possible. And thank you to the Showcase Cinema. Thank you so much for allowing us to come here today and to share this with you. Long way to go. Well done, all of you. And I look forward to seeing you in March at the final of the Big Challenge. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye.